Ladies and gentlemen, hello everybody, welcome back. We're here with week 16 of our
It's
prediction
Christmas
video.
time, Christmas time. The Bills are gonna win at Christmas time. It's like the only present I ever get that I really, besides my PS5 this year. Shout out to the babe. Thanks.
How do you know what your Christmas present is? You're
I
not
already
supposed to
got
know
it.
until Christmas. You're not supposed
Yeah,
to get
but
till
she got it for me
Christmas.
early. She got it for me early.
We actually have a third with us tonight. You want to talk?
Hello.
We got Jake here to give his predictions. Jake, welcome. How you feeling with the
Yeah.
NFL season before we get started here? What's your opinion on the NFL season so far?
It's a shit show.
That's a good answer, isn't it, Potter?
Yes. I would say yes and no, but the thing is he's not wrong. This year it's been quite a shit show. It's been quite upside down. Quarterbacks from the past that should have been good when they were supposed to be are good now, and quarterbacks have shit the bed, and teams have shit the bed that weren't supposed to shit the bed. And you know what? It's week 16, and we're gonna talk about it.
Let's start with our
I'm not
first game that's happening on Thursday night. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New York Jets.
Jeffrey Bezos giving us New York versus Jacksonville on a Thursday night. What can I say about this game except for I don't know who's playing quarterback. Is
Zach
Mike White
Wilson.
healthy?
Mike White's out.
Wilson.
Oh, he's out, so it will be Wilson. And the team and the coaching staff, I believe, want to believe in Wilson, but his comments are just shitty.
Here's the thing as well, is that both these teams still have a chance to make the playoffs as well, by the way. Put it out there. Jacksonville has a chance, and so does the Jets.
And that's the exact reason I said this it's a crap show this year.
But do I think Jacksonville's ready for the playoffs? Or the Jets, mind you. No, I don't. Not at all. But we're at that crucial point in December where wins now are going to get you into that wild card spot. And the Jets, I mean, with Zach Wilson driven offense, have looked good. And I mean, even so, without Zach Wilson, with Mike White, I'm telling you, next year Mike White is going to be on this team. Mike White's probably going to be the starter. Like, this Jets team went from shit show to not that bad in what? They've been good for what? 4 weeks now? 5 weeks?
Well, the main story here is that the Jets actually is on a 3-game losing streak. They lost to the Vikings, they lost to Buffalo, and then they lost to the Lions. It was a close game. They missed the field goal to tie it. And Zach Wilson actually had a good drive in that last play of the game, getting him in the field goal range and this, that, and the other. But if we want to talk about stories, the Jaguars coming in here, they just beat the Titans 2 weeks ago, 36-22. The Titans are the ones that are number one seed or not number one seed, but the number one team in the AFC South. They just beat them. They faced them week 18. Pardon?
It's like the worst. The AFC South is terrible.
And that's why the Jaguars have a chance to make it in.
Jesus.
And then last week they beat the Cowboys in overtime.
And that's a feat. So, I mean, my analyst parts of me would say bet on the Jaguars this week. Especially with Zay Jones. I'm not going to lie. Let's talk about the Jags for a minute. Zay Jones exploding out of this offense, ex-Bills player, leading the charge in the wide receiver core, especially when they have a couple of big-name receivers. So it's nice to see Zay Jones getting some work. This Jaguars team is evolving. And just like I've said about the Lions all year, they're a team that they need a little bit more. But they can totally be contenders. And we've seen flashes of it. And I compare them to because they're perennial losers. So it's nice to see those teams evolving.
Trevor Lawrence has emerged as a legit franchise and elite quarterback, in my opinion. Last week proved it for me. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 318 yards. He willed the Jaguars back to that game against the Cowboys and is one of the main reasons they got back in that game. Zay Jones had 3 touchdown grabs that game as well. Man, all right, let's get through this. Potter, who do you think's going to win, Jets or Jags?
Jags.
Taking the Jags. Jake, who are you thinking?
The Jets winning.
Why do you say the Jets winning over the Jags?
The fact that the Jets have looked more like a put together unit than the Jags have all season.
And that's one of the problems the Jags have this season, that they're very inconsistent this season. They'll come out there and they'll completely dominate teams like they did the Colts and the Chargers, where they won 38-10 and 24-0. But then you have losing streaks that just don't make sense for the Jags team. They're just inconsistent as hell this season. And that's what shows me they're not really ready for the big time yet. The Jets' problem is that they have a great defense and they really have no offense until Mike White took it over. But you can only do so much with Mike White, in my opinion.
I said this when they were playing the Bills. He's going to die on a football field. After he folded it in half like 5 times.
He got Goldberg speared. That shit was funny.
I'm taking the Jags over the Jets as well. I think the Jags, I'm trusting more in Trevor Lawrence than I am Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson just is the main problem for me with the Jets offense. I mean, here's the thing. The Jets defense right now in PFF standards, they're ranked second in the league in defense, but they're ranked last in offense. That tells you the whole story, in my opinion, about this team. So let's go on to our next game as we got the Buffalo Bills heading into another snowstorm take on the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Do we really need to talk about
They're
this?
not coming to town, by the way. There's actually a snowstorm going on in Chicago right now, and they're actually talking about moving the game. They're actually going to Chicago to play this game. It's not in Buffalo.
Oh, damn.
Do we have to talk about this game? Who you guys taking to win this game? Let's just ask that first.
Buffalo.
I want to say this, though.
Did you say the Bears?
No, I said Bills.
Okay, I was going to say.
I thought he said something else. My whole thing right now about the Bears is that they're only led by one guy, and that's Justin Fields, and he's just not there yet to really be an impactful player, and the Bears need to get some help around him. And Chase Claypool's not really the help they need. We could see a Nathan Peterman sighting if Fields goes down. I guess. That'd be nice to see, wouldn't it, Potter?
No. Fuck Nathan Peterman.
I wouldn't mind seeing Peterman on the field against our Bills defense. 5 interceptions.
Oh, yeah, no.
Please.
So he can throw 5 interceptions to us. Yeah. Give them back. Give them back, motherfucker. Take every single one of them back.
I think Buffalo easily beats the Bears. I don't think it's much of a contest.
Trick shot ass motherfucker.
It's supposed to be very there's still some going on right now in Chicago, but I don't know if it's going to actually affect this game or not. They're talking about actually
into a trash can from 80 yards away. My name's Nathan Pickerman. Not if there's a defender standing in front of it, you piece of shit.
I think Buffalo beats the Bears, like I was saying, and I don't think it's much of a contest. I think the Bears are just going to cruise into next season.
There's lots of emotional damage, though.
That was a fast game to talk about. Let's go on to another game. We got the New Orleans Saints at the Cleveland Browns.
That's a weird game as well.
Not really, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you both. I think this is the Browns' game to lose. With, what's his name coming back, they should be a complete team now. And it shows they're not. No matter how much you bid on a quarterback, you can't be that good. Right, Crusher? Sorry. He hates it, but I love him. I feel bad because they spent that much money on a quarterback, and it doesn't seem like they even trust him.
They didn't trust him.
I don't know. When you send out On a 4th and 1, you send out your kicker to kick a field goal and he misses it. When your absolute elite quarterback could have just thrown the ball or ran it. I don't know. That was a pretty bonehead move.
It's 4th and 1, and you have a monster running back that was leading the league in yards once.
Not
this
even
season.
one, two monster running backs.
They have a good amount of talent on this Browns team, and they don't use them properly on offense, and that's been the main problem.
And I'm going to call Crusher right here, right now, and say it's the coaching. It's not it's not the players. It's the coaching. I feel like Ken Stefanski's just, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like a lot of those bonehead calls are on him.
But actually, if everything goes the Browns' way, they can still make a playoff spot too.
That's true. At that point, do you want, okay, your team's pretty decent, but is the coaching going to get better over the next year or two?
You have to hope.
I mean, one has to hope, but is it going to? There's bonehead moves being made there.
I'm going to say right now, you think this is the Browns game to lose? I think the Saints are going to take this.
Think the Saints are going to take this game?
Only for a simple fact is that they still have a chance to win the division in the NFC South, one of the worst divisions known to football. Every team in the NFC South has a chance to make the playoffs, and the fact that the Saints are 5-9 and still have a chance to make it is beyond belief. And I think that with two teams like this, the Browns have bad coaching and not have the actual wits to win games, and then you got the Saints who this season the Saints have just been injured. That's been their main problem. Injuries been hitting the Saints team to their core. And they're starting to get some players back now. I mean, still have Michael Thomas on IR. Mark Ingram II is still on IR as well. But Chris Olave is questionable play. I believe he was out last week. He should be playing this game again with Andy Dalton. The Saints are injured. They should be getting their players back sooner or later. And they might make a playoff push. It all depends on them. They have to beat the Browns first to really make an actual stand for it. But I will say this. I wouldn't be surprised if either of these teams don't make it. The Browns, I'm surprised, that has 1% left because they need everything to go their way this week, and then for the foreseeable future, they need everything to go exactly the way they need to make the playoffs. And I just don't see it happening.
It's the Browns. That's not going to happen.
So, Potter, you're still taking the Browns?
Yeah, I'm still taking the Browns.
I'll take the Saints. Jake, who you taking?
I'll take the Browns, though.
Okay. I mean, I understand it because the Browns have more talent around them compared to the Saints, but I just don't trust the coaching staff anymore. The Browns team is just kind of a clusterfuck, and they need to figure out what they're doing on offense to really get people scared. And their defense is also taking a hit, too. I mean, there's a reason why on PFF, the Saints' offense is ranked 4th in the league, and the defense for the Saints is ranked 8th. Both higher than the Browns, which is not right at all, right? That shouldn't be the case. So, yeah. Anyways, up next, we go talking about the NFC South. Let's go to the AFC South. We got the Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans.
That's just going to be a Texans win.
A Texan win?
Nope. Titans win. Whoops.
This is a rivalry game, by the way, and I do want to talk about it just a little bit, the rivalry that's gone on between them for a long, long time. However, the Titans aren't in a place right now where they can match up with the Titans. I'm going to have to take the Titans. I just wanted to talk about it real quick.
My thoughts are exactly. It's the Texans, the biggest tank in the league right now.
Well, and as they should be tanking to get better talent. At this point, the season's over. For them, they can go out for stats, and that's great. And they can look and see what their team could look like going forward if they're able to keep hold of their guys. But at that rate, that's exactly what the coaches are looking at. I don't even think they're looking forward. I think they're looking forward to 2023. to be perfectly honest with you. And I mean, honestly, if they can get some talent, they have 2 first-round draft picks because of the trade of Watson from the Browns. I mean, I think they have 3 altogether.
So here's the thing about the Texans for me right now. They're 1-12-1, and the team that has the second overall pick right now, which is the Bears, are 3-11. Which means if the Texans are going to win a game, they can win a game against the Titans or whoever they have else in their schedule. And they've actually been playing lately like they want to win games. They played against the Cowboys. They almost beat the Cowboys. They took the Chiefs to overtime last week. My whole thing right now is that the Titans are on a downhill spiral. They've lost their last 4 games. They got completely blown out by the Eagles. Close game against the Bengals, 2016, sure. Jacksonville
Stop
beat
you
them.
right there. The Eagles are arguably the best team in the league right now.
We'll talk about the Eagles when we get them. When we get to them. But my point is that the Titans are not really looking the best right now. They lost 4 straight. The Jags are knocking on their door to take the division from them as well.
Oh, didn't know that was that point.
And also, Ryan Tannehill's questionable play. We could have Malik Willis on the field on Saturday.
Oh.
That might make me change. You know what? It is a Potter shit game of the week, by the way. I'm gonna pick the Texans, not the Titans.
I already have the Titans locked in just to the fact that it's the Texans.
I'm gonna take the Texans on the upset because they can afford a win tonight. I think they want to tank for the first overall pick, yes. They can afford 1 win. And it seems like the last 2 weeks they've been trying to actually get wins. They took the Cowboys to the limit. They almost beat the Chiefs. Could you imagine if they beat the Chiefs, Potter?
Oh my God.
We would be having a celebration right now. But Davis
not
Mills
really.
decided to... Well, yeah, because Buffalo have an easier chance with the division. Or with the
That's
first seed.
true. That's true.
But I'm taking Texans over the Titans. I don't trust the Titans anymore. The Titans they're going downhill. They lost 4 straight. They forgot who they have on their team as well. They're trying to throw the ball when they have Derrick Henry. This is another case of coaching gone wrong. Todd Bull, or is it Todd Bowles? Who's their offense coordinator, Jake? Can you find that out real quick for me?
Second.
Actually, I'll search it up. Titans OC. They have a bad OC as well. Todd Downing. Thank you. Todd Downing is going downhill. He doesn't know how to fucking run an offense. It's obvious. Give me the Texans over the Titans. That is my only upset probably I'm going to take this week.
Ow.
Up next, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow, this is gonna be
Loud
where do I
game.
start?
This is going to be a blowout.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, on which end?
Well, Tyler Lockett's out. He's not playing.
Yeah,
Oh.
but the Chiefs almost just lost to the Texans. So, I mean...
I think the Chiefs almost lost to the Texans, though, because they took them as the Texans and didn't think they were going to actually try. And they kind of, overlooked their opponent. Tyler Lockett being out hurts the Seahawks as much, and honestly, Geno Smith last 2 weeks have been kind of going downhill. He's kind of digressing as the season goes along. Geno Smith's still having his best season by far, and the Seahawks could make the playoffs, but right now they're on a Chiefs team that has Mahomes that probably wants to win MVP. If Mahomes wants to win MVP, and Mahomes is obviously the front runner for the MVP this season right now. Mahomes needs to have 1 bad game to really change that perception. But right now, I think Mahomes is running away with it. And to keep his MVP race alive, and also to stay in contention with the Bills for the first overall seed, because we know every team wants that seed, they're going to want to beat Seattle. And I just don't really see Seattle as being much of a contention against the Chiefs, because they have really no defense this year, whereas the Chiefs have the second best offense in the league. So I'm taking the Chiefs over the Seahawks. I'll let you guys talk now.
I have to agree with you. It's the Seahawks. If the Raiders can beat them, just about anyone can.
Yeah, but I feel the same way about the Chiefs. If the Texans can beat them, anybody can. So I feel like this is going to be a really like back and forth game as long as Geno Smith come and the rest of that offense come to play. Like honestly, this is going to be a close one. And this is going to be a game of the week, by the way, for me. Like this is going to be a game that I'm actually interested in watching if I'm able to watch it.
They're playing the same time the Bills play, by the way. 1 o'clock on Saturday.
No, I have the NFL app. I can switch between games.
So, are you taking the Seahawks?
I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Ooh, that's an upset.
Wow.
All right,
I
that's
honestly think after the Chiefs' couple performances, they have shown that they are so like it's like when someone says, "Oh, blah blah blah," it shows that they're human. Like in like a fighting game where someone seems inhuman, and like you know what I mean. And it just shows that Patrick Mahomes and the rest of that team can be slowed down if a defense works hard enough. Honestly, like I'm gonna take the Seahawks. That team can get that win this week. It's gonna be a whole different, you know what I mean?
okay. Okay, up next, we go to Minnesota. We have the New York Giants at the Minnesota Vikings.
The Vikings on paper, okay, and Wolf has said this every week. They win, but they don't win by much. Like the margin of point differential is like what, 3?
I believe so, something like that.
So it's kind of crazy how close games they've been winning. It seems like the Vikings are good, but I'm telling you guys, they're a red herring. They're going to go right to the playoffs and lose. And their losing streak's going to start right here, actually. And I'm going to take the Giants to win this game.
Jake, what's your opinion on this game?
They've only lost one game, and they're coming off of the biggest comeback in NFL history. I'm gonna have to give it to Minnesota.
They've lost only one game. I believe they lost 3, Jake.
Oh, 3. Damn it. I keep forgetting.
They lost.
God.
They lost to the Eagles. They lost to the Cowboys, and they lost to the Lions.
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna find out the point differential right now for the Vikings.
It's not that good.
It's like 3.
It
A little bit
is.
higher than 3.
It is 2 points.
Jesus.
Oh,
They've only beaten teams by 2 points. Okay. Oh man. What's your opinion on the Giants after what happened last week with what people are calling the screw job? They're saying Washington was screwed out of that game last week. What's your guys' opinion on the Giants? I don't think they won that game without the refs' help. Just being honest.
I'm inclined to agree.
I declined to no comment.
Right now this is
And
for
I didn't watch it,
You didn't watch it?
so I don't know the facts.
So what happened was that on like a second goal, they called the receiver offsides or not set correctly. I can't remember exactly the penalty. And that was a main thing. And then in 4th and goal, they went for the end zone, and it was pass interference all the way, but they didn't call it. Now, I'm going to take the Vikings to win this game against the Giants. I just don't really see the Giants as being much of a contention against the Vikings. But I do think this is going to be a very close game, and it's going to go either one way or the other. I do think it's going to come down to a field goal as well. And I think right now, did the Eagles clinch the first seed in the NFC yet?
Yeah,
They did?
I think so.
So, this game has nothing really to play for Minnesota then. They're just trying to keep, like, they already won the division. I mean, they're just trying to keep their seed alive now. I mean, like, they already have a home game in playoff if that's the case. They don't really have nothing really to play for. They can kind of rest their stars if they have to, and they can actually have the Giants win this game if they really want to. But it depends on
That's
if...
another thing. Like, I think that Nick Sirianni at this point isn't trying to blow his playoff spot. Resting his starters might be his best bet against this Giants team.
It all depends on if the Eagles actually got the first overall seed clinched. I don't know
Which
for
they
sure.
do.
I don't think they do. Minnesota only lost 3 games. They still have 3 games this season. And Eagles only lost 1. I think the Eagles need to win this week to actually clinch it.
Oh, yeah, that might be a thing, too.
But yeah, I'm just gonna take the Vikings over the Giants. I'm just kind of iffy towards the Giants. Jake, go on. How about you?
Also taking Minnesota this week.
Okay. All right, let's go on to the next game. We got the Cincinnati Bengals at the New England Patriots.
This is gonna be weird to watch.
I'm gonna let you guys talk while I take a phone call.
So we have the Pats which just lost to the Raiders to a blind coach. Take that one, news, but it's against the Super Bowl. The people that were just in the Super Bowl that went to more or less 0. Actually, I think that's his theme this year with both the teams that were in the Super Bowl.
What game are we talking about right now? I'm sorry, I just came back in.
New England, Cincinnati.
Really? So you're going to... Okay, so at this point, New England, I believe, is last in the division. And you know what? That makes me smile from ear to ear. It makes me smile so much to know that New England has gone from a perennial winner to a perennial loser. It's nice.
It makes me happy too.
It really, I mean, honestly, like, it's just emotional scars. And honestly, the situation in Cincinnati with their offensive line, in my opinion, has gotten better. They're one of the hardest working O-lines. I'm not going to say they're the best because it shows they're not, but they're one of the most hardworking offensive line. Like, I mean, yeah, like they get beat a lot, but they're working. Like they're better every week about protecting their quarterback. But I mean, honestly, if I had to take a winner in this game, it's definitely going to be Cincy.
I'm gonna have to take New England.
You're going to take New England. He muted himself.
Why are you taking New England, Jake?
Because they're still a decent team.
They're a decent team facing one of the best NFL teams right now in the NFL season.
Are they really a decent team?
I'll give him an average team. That's what I consider a decent team, as an average team.
I'm sorry, they're completely garbage. They lost to the Raiders, which for the record, have a Belichick understudy as a head coach.
Give me the Bengals. The Bengals are just better overall than the Patriots. The Patriots win this game if they're actually playing consistent football on offense. The main problem with the Patriots is they have no offense to actually give pressure to teams. Their defense can only do so much against elite offenses. Their defense is really good when they're taking on teams that are average to maybe even above average teams, but when they take on elite offenses, they fold. Buffalo, for example. They lost to Cleveland as well, I believe. They beat Cleveland. Who did they lose? Oh, the Bears. They lost to the Bears. The Packers beat them as well. I mean, there's inconsistencies for New England. I'm more confident the Bengals win this game. New England needs to win more than the Bengals, though, because New England needs to keep their playoff hopes alive. And this is going to be a must-win game for New England. So expect New England to go out there and pull all the stops. Might actually go in there and actually show off and perform well. But I don't think it matters against Mr. Joey Burr and the Bengals offense. Did you guys take who you guys are taking in this game? Potter? Jake? I think they both went AFK for some reason.
I'm not AFK. I'm right here. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I already said I was going to take the Bengals.
I was talking on phone. That's why I didn't hear you. Sorry. But did Jake take the Patriots?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, he take the Patriots. All I care. Up next with the Lions at the Panthers.
The Lions. Oh, they have all the resources necessary for them to make their first playoff berth in quite some time. Am I confident in those pieces and players going deep into the Super Bowl, into the playoffs? I'm sorry. Yes and no. That defense needs a lot of work. Are the Lions ready to get to the NFC Championship? I don't think so. But I think that their first playoff berth in a while is going to be a fresh start for them. Just like it was for Buffalo 5-6 years ago. You know what I mean?
I understand you.
So I'm confident very, very confident in saying that the Lions are going to win this game.
I am not confident in the Lions making the playoffs because they still have to have something happen in their favor. I believe they need to have teams actually lose for them to get in. However, in this game right here against the Panthers, this is a game that the Lions cannot lose, and also this is their game to lose. There is no reason the Panthers should be able to beat the Lions. Now, the Panthers do have a chance to make the playoffs as well on their own right. They have an NFC South, and could they afford a loss this week? Probably not, because the Bucs are still in favor. But I'll say this. Right now, with everything going around, it's Sam Darnold versus Jared Goff. I think the Lions are just a better team overall than the Panthers, and I think the Lions are going to win this game. But I don't expect the Panthers to go down quietly, and I expect this to be a very close game. But give me the Lions over the Panthers.
I already took the Lions. Hello?
Yeah, I heard you. I'm waiting. Jake, are you here? You're muted, by the
No.
way, if you're here.
He's not.
Okay, just give me 1 second to write this message
Look at
real
the
quick.
chat.
In the chat?
The chat of the Discord channel that we're in.
Oh, okay. So Jake's not gonna be around for the rest of this video, guys. Sorry about that. All right, let's go to the next game then. We got the Falcons at the Ravens. I'll let you go first, Potter.
Falcons at the Ravens. Who's playing quarterback?
Huntley's playing quarterback for the Ravens. Lamar Jackson is questionable play with a leg injury, but right now they're really making Huntley the starter at the moment.
Right. Versus Desmond Ridder.
Yes, against Desmond Ridder.
Give me the Falcons.
You want the Falcons over the Ravens? Here's the thing with this game. I don't know if the Falcons actually have the talent around them to beat the Ravens. And Huntley, even if Huntley's playing and it's not Lamar, Huntley's a dollar store general version of Lamar Jackson, in my opinion. It doesn't really hurt the Ravens that much to have him at quarterback. One thing I'm gonna say though is that this is a must-win game for the Falcons, and the Ravens need to win this game as well, and hope that the Bengals lose to the Patriots. Because if they lose to the Patriots, the Ravens are back in front of the division. But I believe the Ravens and Falcons and Bengals actually play Week 18, so there's still plenty of time for a team to, you know, there's still plenty of time for the Ravens to get back in that division hunt and win the division from them. I'm gonna take the huh.
I said right.
I'll take the Ravens over the Falcons. I don't know who the Falcons really have that could actually keep up with the Ravens. And that's my only thing. I do think this game is not going to be that. It's going to be like a close, what's strict wording, defensive battle. So like I don't think both teams are going to be scoring 24/7, but you never know in the NFL. Let's go to the next game. We got the Commanders at the Niners.
I think that the way that you explained it and what I just read, I want to take the Commanders just right off the bat.
Okay, so why is that? What did you read
I think
about?
they're going to be super hungry to get a win because they should have gotten a win. Like that penalty would have changed that whole game.
Well, the one penalty took a touchdown off the board for the Commanders, and then that penalty should have been a pass interference call. I'm more so mad at the penalty on the receiver being off the line of scrimmage because he asked the ref if he was off the line of scrimmage. The referee gave him the okay, and they still called the penalty. So, but my thing here right now is that the Niners are a tough team. Brock Purdy's playing excellent this season.
That's
for
true.
his 3 games.
But I'm going. This is the Christmas. It's the Christmas spirit in me that wants to go for the miracle games.
And I understand that. I think Washington's actually a better team than what people realize. I think Washington actually should be in the playoffs right now and should not be the Giants. But my whole thing right now is that they're taking on the Niners. The Niners are a tough team. I think their defense is the best in the league. And I think Brock Purdy is a special individual, and I think he actually could be an elite quarterback if they go with him next season. However, it is the Niners, and we know the quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. We know they have Trey Lance. I don't know if he'll ever get a chance to play again after this season. But he's like Tyler Heinicke, in my opinion. He has it. Brock Purdy has something, and it's special. I'm taking the Niners over the Commanders, just for that reasoning. All right. So you're taking the Washington Commanders. I'm taking the Niners. You ready for the next game, Potter?
Yep.
We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys.
Rivalry game.
Give
me the Eagles.
The Eagles are injured, actually. They will not have Jalen Hurts for this game against the Cowboys.
Who do they have?
Gardner Minshew.
Give me the Eagles.
You're taking the Eagles still. Okay.
Watch the return of Gardner Minshew. Like, watch, and it's going to show why he's a decent, competent backup. Gardner Minshew is not opposed to winning. He was, the Jaguars' most winning quarterback next to Trevor Lawrence that they've had. You know what I'm saying? He's not like an incumbent starter, but he can get the job done. He's been there for a while, so he knows the system. I don't think the Eagles take a step. Jalen Hurts gets to take a rest. Whatever. It's not going to be like a blowout game, but I think the Eagles are still going to win.
If the Eagles can, allow it, I would rest Jalen Hurts for the rest of the season until playoffs.
I would do that based off how Gardner Minshew plays tonight.
Because they need to actually have Minnesota. Minnesota's what? They've, I believe, 11-3. The Eagles are 13-1. They can afford to lose a game here and there if Minshew plays bad. But it all depends on how he plays against the Cowboys. And we know the Cowboys' defense is one of the elite defenses in the NFL. However, they did somehow almost lost to the Texans, and they lost to the Jaguars in some special fashion. The Cowboys are right now in a bad spiral, and they need to win this game. to show off some stuff. However, they're also injured. Both teams are really injured going into this game here. And before, if this game was a very close game before, in my opinion. Like, both teams could have actually been playing for the division right now, but after the Dallas Cowboys lost to the Jaguars, it doesn't really matter anymore, in my opinion. I still think the Eagles are going to win the division because they have, like, the last two games of the season against the Saints and the Giants. They beat the Giants 48-22 last time they played them in New York. Just imagine what they're going to do in Philly. The Saints are just... We talked about the Saints already earlier.
Yep.
This game means nothing to me. Give me the Eagles to beat the Cowboys and expect the Cowboys to rest their starters. I expect both teams to rest their starters. Cowboys kind of clinched the 5th overall seed in the playoffs already because of their record at 10-4. Rest your starters, get healthy, go into the playoffs and see what you can do. That's my whole thing about it. All right. The game we couldn't make it to, but he wanted to talk about so badly. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think the Raiders are going to beat the Steelers.
I think so too. Now, I don't think it's because of Josh McDaniels. I think Josh McDaniels is still one of the worst head coaches. But the Raiders have a good roster around them to where they're carrying their head coach to wins.
I really hope they fire McDaniels. I hope Nasty gets fired too.
I think Nate will be fired, yes, but the way the Raiders are playing this season, I don't think they can justify firing him. They've already won 6 games with him being the first-time head coach. Head coach.
6 games is not good.
It's not, but as a first-time head coach, you want to see improvement from that, and they think that that might be improvement for themselves last season. What we gotta say about the Steelers? I mean, I believe both teams can still make the playoffs, by the way, which is shocking.
I mean, yeah, it's really shocking. Like, I have no words for that.
Let me see. I just want to make sure that they actually can both make it. Yeah, the Raiders still have a chance, and so do the Steelers. Somehow the Colts can make the playoffs, too. They're not fully eliminated yet.
Fucking crazy. I'm going to take the Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Raiders as well. The Steelers are just... I don't trust them. I know Kenny Pickett might be back for this game, but he has no receivers around him. He has no offensive line. The Steelers' offense has been the problem this season, and the defense has been a problem without T.J. Watt. When T.J. Watt's in the field, the defense plays decent, but I mean, you guys have a lot of holes. You gotta fix them. That's all I gotta say. So give me the Raiders. All right, the next 3 games are gonna be played for Christmas Day, Potter. First game first, on Christmas Day at 1 o'clock, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Miami Dolphins.
Green Bay Packers at the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is going to be an interesting game. Can the Dolphins beat the Green Bay Packers? Can Aaron Rodgers beat what I want to say is a high motor offense from the Dolphins, but isn't? I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Jets want the Dolphins to lose. So Jets fans better be praying that Aaron Rodgers plays like shit.
Jets and Patriot fans want Dolphins to lose.
Fuck Patriots fans. I don't care what they want.
So you're taking the Packers over the Dolphins?
Yes.
No.
I'm taking the Dolphins over the Packers. I'm sorry.
Okay. You just think that the high explosive offense is going to be too much for Aaron Rodgers?
I think for him to keep up without receivers.
Yeah. Man, this is such a close game because we don't know what Dolphin team we're going to see. If we're going to see the team that took on the Bills last week in the snow, or if they're going to be the team that faced the Chargers and Niners and just look discombobulated.
Are they playing in Lambeau?
They're playing in Miami.
Oh, I'm going to have to take Miami then. If they were playing in Lambeau, I would have changed my mind because he doesn't play good in cold weather.
Tua played decent last week.
Yeah, decent, not good.
I have to take Miami as well. In Miami, I don't really trust the Packers right now. But who knows with the Packers? They could somehow surprise us and make the fucking wild card still. The Packers, if they beat Miami, they beat Minnesota, and they beat the Lions, they can somehow still make the playoffs. If everything goes right.
Easy. Yeah, give me Miami. Next
Give
game.
me Miami as well to beat the Packers, but we'll see, because I'm not surprised the Packers actually beat Miami as well, because Aaron Rodgers magic. Up next on Christmas Day, 4:25, we got the Denver Broncos against the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh. Potter's shit game of the week.
Shit game of Christmas.
Right?
Both teams are
Can't
4-10 or not in the playoffs.
Oh.
And Russell Wilson's playing because he was out last week. He's playing this week.
Mayfield playing.
Baker Mayfield's playing as well for the Rams.
Have the Rams been winning?
The Rams won and they lost against the Packers. The Rams beat the Raiders and they lost to the Packers.
Give me the Broncos for a Christmas present.
I'm going to take the Broncos as well, just because this game doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. We don't need to talk about that much. But I don't really trust the Rams right now and Baker Mayfield. Just give me the Broncos. And then lastly, for Christmas Day at 8:20 p.m., we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Arizona Cardinals.
Motherfuckers would already be asleep at that point. But give me the Bucks.
Yep, give me the Bucks as well. They have no Kyler Murray. Colt McCoy's playing for the Cardinals, and Bucks need it more. I know they need it more. They're gonna make the playoffs, even though they're 6-8 right now. They're still gonna somehow make the playoffs because the NFC South is just a shitty division in general.
Yup.
Nothing really else to say right here in this game. Last but not least, on Monday Night Football, we got the Chargers taking on the Colts.
Oh.
Nick Foles is playing for the Colts.
Shit games of the week back to back. Goddamn, we had a record-breaking shit games of the week last week, and now we have another record breaker. It's shit game of the week back to back.
Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, give me the Chargers.
I know Nick Foles is playing for the Colts, but I mean Jeff Saturday is just trying to save his job at this point. Which honestly, he might not even have to play for it because Jim Irsay is delusional as fuck and probably thinks that freaking Jeff Saturday is the best coach of all time. So
Right.
Yeah, give me the Chargers over the freaking Colts. We're on to week 17 and 18. Next week is gonna be 17, then the week after that's 18, and then we'll be done with these videos, guys. It's getting close still, Potter. It really is getting close.
I know.
But anyways,
Crazy.
guys, thank you for watching as always. I'll take care and peace out.
Peace out.